Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, we're going to actually be talking about meme tokens. As you guys know, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin have been taking off in a major way this bull run, and now we're actually starting to see a number of new subcategories called meme tokens taking off as well. Meme tokens are simply just cryptos that have no significant use case. Majority of them are just piggybacking off the Dogecoin or Shiba Inu name, but nonetheless, as those two cryptos have performed well, we've seen a number of these go up tens of thousands of percent in gains. Small investments could have netted you life-changing amounts of opportunity and wealth, and today we're going to be diving into some of my favorite ones, some that I've recently accumulated for myself, and then I'm going to be giving you guys my favorite one at the end of this video so that you guys can go about, look into it, and maybe make some profit with me. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 21,000 members and growing. Links are going to be provided for you in the description for the people that want to sign up. On top of that, if you're new, just getting into these markets and you want extra educational content on how to actually be more profitable inside of these markets, go ahead and download my free ebook and beginner's guide to crypto that I know is going to help you guys out tremendously. So check it out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so to start off this video, we're going to be basically talking about Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, and then we're going to be diving into the meme tokens that I've already bought, and then I'm going to finish off by giving you guys my favorite one that I think is the most undervalued. So I'm actually a little bit sad seeing this chart today, because last night I was literally thinking about longing this at 23 cents. I probably should have. I said I'd wait till the morning. Oftentimes when you tell yourself you're going to do that, you wake up and then it's too late. So we're actually seeing Dogecoin taking off once again. And in my opinion, this was a very, obvious looking setup at this point. We've seen Dogecoin kind of consolidating. We had the initial sell-off after we rallied upwards of, 75 cents, almost $1 we actually hit in this run-up. And now we've actually seen a pretty significant sell-off. Now, from that point, we've maintained higher highs and higher lows. This itself is somewhat of a double bottom formation. Really, guys, I mean, no matter what way you try and shake it, this is just going to be a one wave, and I believe that we're actually going to be heading upwards of about 60 cents next. And then we're going to get a breakout of those all-time highs. We're going to see this thing taking off a lot. My guess is that Elon Musk is going to come back in here once again and start messing with Doge, start pumping his bags once more, providing exit liquidity for it on the way up. Now, guys, I do believe, as much as I might not like meme coins from a long-term perspective, the thing that we have to understand here is now that we're so late in the cycle, this is where we're going to see a lot of stuff taking off in big ways that really probably has no business being up in these valuations. I mean, Dogecoin itself, it's not used for anything. It's more or less just a meme for the most part. I mean, there really isn't anything to it other than that. Dogecoin is used to some extent greater than some of these other ones out there, but the reason why we're seeing these take off is because we're in an ultra speculative market. The reason people are speculating so heavily is simply because there's just that much money flooding around the market. We've seen, just because of Dogecoin and Elon Musk talking about it, we've seen it rally up and make one of the bigger returns out of any of these other cryptos out there. And so it shows that there's a lot of speculative money, driving everything full force. There's a lot of emotion inside of this market. And what I can see on the bigger picture for Dogecoin, and why I actually believe, this isn't over by any means. We're going to continue to see these Dogecoins. We're going to continue to see these meme coins taking off, because what we've seen thus far, we saw wave 1, we just got wave 3, and we're actually going to get wave 5 next. I honestly think that we could see Dogecoin anywhere from $1 to $3. I really wouldn't be surprised. It seems so crazy because it's going to have so much money in market cap inside of this thing. But this just goes to show how crazy the valuations of crypto can really get. Inside of this 5-wave, I expect that we're going to see a lot of meme coins taking off. We're going to see a number of Dogecoin clones taking off. We're going to see Shiba Inu clones taking off. We already have seen all of the above, but I believe that we're going to see a big influx of that taking place at the end of the year. Everybody's going to be speculating on what's the next Doge. It's funny because we always thought, who's going to be thinking about what's the next Bitcoin or what's the next Ethereum. But in all actuality, retail money is speculating on what's going to be the next Doge. challenge. And so everybody's trying to find that new meme coin. I figured today would be a great opportunity to kind of share with you guys the ones that I've personally bought, because some of them have done phenomenally well already, which is why I wanted to give you guys one at the end that I think has a really good confidence level of being one that takes off. And so here we are taking a look at the chart of Shiba Inu. Now, Shiba was one that me and my group got into just recently. Still holding it. I haven't posted any sell targets yet for it. We have taken some profits off of this initial rise up, but we ended up getting into this somewhere right around this green line. It wasn't the greatest entry as far as, where support was on this chart, but when it took off, it really didn't matter. We're sitting up a great percent return thus far. It's been one of the better performing assets over the last little while. It peaked, at about 10x. We're currently sitting up at about 8.5x. And so this thing's just really taken off in a big way. Now, when it comes down to it, guys, I'm not going to try and predict some major price to you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say I know where I'm not going to sit here and say I know where this is going. My guess is this continues to go up higher from here. I mean, if the whole market's going to keep taking off throughout the rest of the couple months, I do think that Shiba is going to continue to follow. It's just kind of outpacing the market right now. And this should be an early sign of what's to come for the rest of our altcoins. Just because we're seeing the meme coins taking off, just because they're outperforming your coin that, you did all of your due diligence on, understand that it really doesn't matter, because this is ultimately showing you the way for all of the rest of the cryptos to come. These are going to have corrections. When they have corrections, that money's going to leave them and go into the other high caps, and it's kind of the cycle that works. Sometimes it's not always what you think is going to take off that happens, but when it happens, there's no reason to beat yourself up for not taking that trade or missing out or whatever it is. Just simply understand that this is just going to be pointing the direction to where everything else is going. And so this is why I want to talk to you guys about some meme coins. Why I think that these are actually going to be kind of like how DeFi was the big craze in 2020, kind of like how NFTs were a big craze in this year. I think that these meme coins and the meme tokens themselves are kind of putting themselves at their own little category here. We got DeFi, we've got NFTs, and now we've got meme tokens. And I do believe that we're going to continue to see these things take off as more speculative money, more retail money comes into the market. They're all going to be looking at random things that are taking off the most, and then they're going to go speculate on what's going to be the next one. Is it going to be, whatever? There's so many of them out there. And if you spent the time, speaking of which, before we jump into the ones that I'm going to talk to you guys about, so if we actually come over here to coins and then we go down to categories, you guys are actually going to be able to pull up a number of different crypto categories, and the ones that we're going to be talking about are the meme coins. So I've actually found all of the meme tokens that I've invested into right under this little section right here, and you guys are going to be able to go through and do the same. And as you guys can tell, they are going up a lot. There's a ton of these that are taking off in value. 7 days, 146, 394, 908. There's multiple X's right here that we can actually make quite a bit of profit off of. So the first one on today's list is going to be Rocket. Now this is going to be one that I actually think is, a solid fundamental use case as far as these meme tokens. It's a meme token based off of the name. In fact, it's a cringy name that I don't even really want to tell you guys. And I debated even posting a signal for this inside of my Discord server just because of the nature of it. But at the end of the day, what this is it's an NFT marketplace for an adult content, right? And this is something I've always thought would take off at some point. Even all the way back in 2017, I remember thinking about how, the adult entertainment industry is going to be one that is, in my opinion, kind of at the forefront of crypto. And I've always wondered what was going to be a crypto that kind of took some of that market share. And this is one that I do believe will be, because it's basically OpenSea for adult content, right? If you want to pay, I guess, for pictures. I really didn't look into it that much. I just went to their website just to kind of get the gist of it. But my guess is the way it works, if you want, it's kind of like OnlyFans. So if you want to pay for somebody's subscription, you want to see all of their, premium content or whatever, then you would have to basically buy a membership, or you'd have to buy the NFTs. And somehow Rocket token, this thing right here, plays into that ecosystem. So if you guys want to do your own research, go ahead. I bought this because of the chart predominantly. I did look in to see what the website was of all of these before I invested into them, just to do some due diligence. But when it comes to the meme tokens, this was funny money. I already planned on I just planned on, potentially losing all of this in the process. So, I really don't care so much. All I know is that this chart looks massively accumulated, and it's still a relatively good opportunity to buy. My Discord server, we got in here over at 45 cents approximately, and so we actually are up a little bit of profit. But this is one that doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. We had our first cycle. This was summer of, I should say last summer, May of 2021. Then we got our correction, and this is actually our first higher high. Call it a double bottom formation. Whatever you do, this doesn't really matter. It just shows that there's accumulation taking place. We have a lot of volume coming in here at the support lows. And so now that we're at this point where the market's starting to break out, this is our first higher high, and this is us actually breaking outside of that. So I still think it's relatively undervalued in the bigger picture, but we should start to see these things taking off, flip this and then see them actually go parabolic in a big way. And so this is one that I'm watching for, mainly because of the length of accumulation that we're seeing here, mainly because this one also taps into the NFT sector with a funny name like Come Rocket. Obviously it's going to attract speculative frenzies because of the retail investors. So this is one that is on my list that I think is still relatively undervalued, a little bit, up past my initial entry price, but this is one that I do think we should all be paying attention for. Now, next up on the list is going to be Shih Tzu. Now, this is actually my first meme token I ever bought, and my Discord server, we bought it right here, somewhere approximately within this green circle, and then we got this massive pump back up. And if you guys notice this big, weird-looking, Darth Maul lightsaber candle, this is actually because for whatever reason, a lot of these meme tokens, and it started with Shiba Inu, if you guys remember, back when Shiba first started taking off, the way that they bootstrapped this project's tokenomics was they basically sent half of the supply to Vitalik Buterin, which is the creator of Ethereum, right? They sent it to his public address. So he just held 50% of the supply of Shiba Inu. Well, if you guys remember, when Shiba Inu went crazy and it pumped super hard, Vitalik Buterin actually sold all of his Shiba, and then he donated it to a charity, right? And so this was something that happened, caused a lot of people that were buying Shiba at the top to get pissed off, but for whatever reason, all of these other dog-based meme tokens, they started doing the same thing. They all started sending 50% of their token supply to Vitalik, and then it was like a week ago, approximately, a few days ago, that Vitalik Buterin literally went through his wallet, every one of the dog-based meme tokens, he went and sold everything. And so this is one of those that it pumped after my entry, but then Vitalik sold it all right here, and that's why we get this big ugly candle. But this happened to a number of these different dog tokens. And what's funny to me is I just kept holding it because I figured it would just break out again, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. And so this is the thing that I want you guys to pay attention for. Do I think that now is the great opportunity to get into this market? Not necessarily, because we're already seeing such a big green candle coming in here. I mean, I still think that they're relatively undervalued, especially if we see these things break their all-time highs. I mean, that's still a huge return. But the point I'm trying to make here by sharing with you guys some of these is just simply how these meme tokens stack up. They're just very emotional cycles, right? The thing that you're going to be able to spot here is the massive length of accumulation that we're seeing. This is what you guys want to look for, and this is what I've seen on a number of these different dog-based meme tokens. I mean, you can make a ton of money. Thus far in my group, I think we're approximately up, 100%, give or take a few percent. We're already sitting up double off of just this one buy, and this is just one of the many examples of profits that we've seen in these meme tokens. I've made money off of just about every single one of them, buying them, and they almost instantly pump. There's not a ton of volume in these, there's not a ton of liquidity, but with all the speculative money coming in here, we're starting to see these taking off first. And so I think that these are great opportunities. Yes, you have to understand that we're in a speculative frenzy. This is money that could easily just completely evaporate to nothing. I mean, right here, for an example, is Vitalik Buterin just dumped half the supply on the market. These are things that happen. You can't predict a lot of this stuff. And that's why, it's important to understand that this is a type of market where you're in and you're out. You're not holding long term. You're not getting caught in the hype. You got to understand that this is a total, pretty much just a pump and dump for the most part. Not that I'm trying to get my followers to go and buy this so I can dump on them, because I'm going to be holding this a lot longer than now. I think it's going to go higher. But when it comes to actually looking out for these meme tokens, look for ones that look like this. Big cycles, big crashes, and then ones that are holding higher highs that look like they're being accumulated. These are going to be the ones that actually perform well. So Shih Tzu is one that's taking off. I expect majority of these other ones to take off. I expect that this is going to continue to go up. I'm not saying to buy it right here. I'm just sharing with you guys what to look for when it comes time to actually buy some of these. Now, next one on the list is going to be ASS, and this one's Australian Safe Shepherd. So one of the things that you're going to see here, guys, you're going to see Dogecoin clones, you're going to see Shiba Inu clones, and you're going to see Safe Moon clones. And then you're going to see ones like this that are a combination. Australian Safe Shepherd. So, I mean, what is this? Nobody really knows. It's just a meme token. But I bought it and then it instantly pumped, and I'm up over double on this one as well. And so this is kind of what I'm talking to you guys about. Do I claim that I'm some expert here? No, I don't. In fact, I was really skeptical on even putting any money in these because it really goes against my personal philosophy and trading plan. But you got to be willing to adapt. We're seeing these things taking off. I remember it was the same way in 2017. Not so much that they were Dogecoin clones, but you saw all kinds of random meme coins that were taking off. They were just called different stuff. We saw the same thing play out in 2017. If we're already starting to see this trend play out right as Bitcoin's breaking all-time highs, I think that this is going to be something that's a smart play. And with how all of these look, they all pretty much look about like this. Big accumulation cycles after a massive crash. And now we're starting to get massive green candles. One that I was going to buy that I didn't because I'm an idiot was Shiba Inu. I was literally about to buy this all the way back down in here. You know, almost the exact bottom in here. And I should have. I really, really wish I should have. But this is one of those examples of how these things will take off. You know, most every one of these charts looks about like this. Ass looks just exactly the same as this. And we're just about like right here. We've had our first little breakout. We should consolidate, but I would expect that the market's going to keep trending up, and we will go to at least the top of this B wave inside of these bigger, longer picture ABC corrections, because that's all this is. A, B, C, right? So these are ABC corrections, and what I would expect to see and what I want to see out of these meme tokens is after they find their low, they rally all the way up to the top of this resistance. At here, I can take massive profits. I can leave a moon bag. If they go up again, that's great. If not, you know, I just have more money to my portfolio. So this is what we're seeing across the board on all of these guys. Some of them have taken off bigger than others, but with all of this speculative money flowing around with Shiba doing as well as it is, I honestly think that these are going to keep going up. And so the last one on today's list that I wanted to give you guys, the one that I actually think is really undervalued and is actually a good buy right now, I still think Rocket is solid. Wherever that one went. I still think Rocket is solid. So if people are actually looking for a decent one to pick, I like Rocket from a fundamental use case. I think that this has a chance to actually be used at some point long term. But then Doge Killer. So this is also known as Leash. That's the ticker. Doge Killer is actually part of the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And I didn't know this until I went over here. So when I went to the ShibaToken.com website, you guys see Shiba. Obviously, everybody knows what Shiba is. But then there's actually a couple other cryptos here that you can buy. And I bought Leash because it's got a really, really, really low circulating supply. And now what Leash supposedly was a rebase token, but they actually changed it. So it's no longer a rebase token. So it's basically just a pump and dump coin, right? Same kind of thing as Shiba. They really have no long-term value, but with this being part of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, I honestly think that it looks solid. From a TA perspective, I saw the chart, and that's what made me look into it. That's what I always look for. What we can see is just your classic ABC correction after a massive cycle, pretty much fully retraced, and now we're actually getting wave 1. This move right here was a wave 1 impulse. I would expect that wave 3 is going to take us up, you know, approximately 7K. Get a little correction, and then we should see a breakout of those all-time highs. We see a lot of volume coming in here. With Shiba recently pumping and then pulling back, I think that now is a good opportunity to actually get in. It's a little bit higher than my entry. We got in down here, approximately like $1,800 in the Discord server, but nonetheless, it's basically coming right down onto support of the previous resistance and that previous high. So I think that now is a decent time to get in. This just looks like rounded accumulation right before we continue to go even more parabolic than this. And I mean, if this is just part of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, as long as Shiba's doing good and breaking out, I don't see why this won't either. So I wanted to give you guys this one. It's just one of those good opportunities. You know, there's all kinds of narratives out there, and as long as we follow the right narrative, we can make a lot of money. And for whatever reason, the meme coin narrative is a big thing right now. We're seeing this taking off. I think it's silly not to have some exposure to it. I mean, if you have extra money, if you've got, you know, if you've made lots of profit or whatever, or you come into a decent amount of profit, finding cryptos that are just really undervalued, if there's a strong narrative behind them, like the meme coin narrative, I mean, we're seeing all of them taking off full force, and we're being led in the top 10 market cap buy some of these meme tokens. And so it shows that there's plenty of speculative money waiting to come into these. I mean, I've already made a ton of money off of some of this stuff. My Discord server is up a lot from our Shiba Inu call. Rocket, you know, we're not up a ton of profit, but we are up pretty decent. I mean, 30% approximately, depending on, you know, I have to go look and see exactly what price we entered in here. But, you know, this is one that's still really undervalued. I actually think that this one is strong fundamentally. We have cryptos like Shih Tzu, other meme dog tokens that are just taking off in a big way. This is kind of the chart that I've seen replicated on a number of these different assets. When I first started looking through them, I found Shih Tzu. I knew that this thing was going to take off when we were, right here approximately. When you see lengthy accumulations like this and you see the market first starting to make higher highs, it's a sure sign that the thing is going to take off. And so I've made money off a number of these. Some of these left me behind, but nonetheless, guys, I do think that this one itself, Leash or Doge Killer, is going to be one that's still relatively undervalued. It's got a really small circulating supply, so obviously price appreciation could be massive. It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen to it, but from a TA perspective, I think that this one just looks like a really undervalued. I think that this one just looks like a really undervalued cycle. So I did want to give you guys one of these picks that I do think is going to be taking off. I think that this one's the safest pick, but, like I said, Rocket itself is still pretty solid. It's crazy I'm even telling you guys this stuff because I never would have thought. I'm really big into investing with cryptos that definitely solve something long-term, that are being used, have strong fundamentals. I like to pair my TA with fundamentals, but we're at the point of the cycle where, fundamentals are great and they're still important, but we're at the speculative frenzy phase, the euphoria phase, where there's literally just so much money flooding into the market that we're going to see stuff like this taking off. It's just inevitable. It's just the way every cycle works. And I wanted to make sure that I have at least some exposure into this. Who knows? Maybe I find one that ends up turning into half as much as Shiba Inu. Even if it turned into, 10% of that, I'd still make a lot of money. So yeah, that's kind of the plan here. You take small investments, you plant your seeds, you go into these different sectors with strong narratives, the meme coin narrative, for example. And, if one pays off, you make a lot of money. If it fails, it's whatever. You just were playing with the house's money at that point. I mean, if you already made profit in the market and you're taking small amounts of profit to try your hand at some of these and they take off, that's a win-win. That's how I've always played the market. And so I've kind of stayed away from the meme coins, but we're at this point now where the cycles look great. They're at undervalued points. We're already starting to see them taking off again, proving us that they're going to be here long-term. Well, I should say long-term as far as the rest of the cycle goes. And so now's an opportunity to get in. Wanted to share with you guys my picks. Let me know if you guys have any of yours out there. Shoot them in the comments section if you're in a special meme coin that you want me to take a look at. I may or may not get into it. I'll look through the charts and whatnot, but yeah, I will always appreciate if you guys have any perspective on that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys would like to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are going to be provided for you in the description for that. For the people that would like to get in the Discord server, if you guys wanted to know what I'm doing with my money, first off, we've been nailing every single one of these charts that I just shared with you guys has been a signal inside of the Discord. We're already up inside of each one of these signals. If you guys want to come in there, follow more meme coin trades that I find. Follow just regular trades that I find that aren't just meme coins. I buy a lot of different things in there. I'm really big into NFTs. I'm really big into, pretty much everything with crypto because I see everything from my perspective. And so if you guys want to just see what I'm doing with my money, which trades I'm taking for the end of the cycle, and then most importantly, how I'm diversifying the profits that I make when I sell my crypto portfolio at the end of this year, we're going to be jumping into stocks. We're going to be jumping into a number of different markets. And so it's just an all-around opportunity to get in, know exactly what I'm doing, and how I'm going to compound my wealth long-term over the next few years. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.